Do you think that it's crucial to have a mentor, like as these guys, to look up and find a mentor?
Yes. Being a mentor is not just being on screen, it's answering phone calls. A lot of people don't see the phone calls that I take daily and call people and the stuff that Trey does for folks. We talk people off the ledge. They're at the end of their rope. They just cannot make it anymore. And they'll send an email, hey, I need help. I'm, lost in life. I sat on the phone one day for 2.5 hours with a guy down in South Texas.
That's wild. I mean, that's really neat that you do that. I think that's really cool, especially, guys that want to grow their business and are kind of lost. And what advice would you give somebody that does call you and says, listen, like I owe people a bunch of money. I don't know where I'm going right now. What would you say? Like, what assets do you have to sell off, or what would your advice be if somebody said, listen, I'm in a bad spot?
Well, they tell me they owe a bunch of people money. I pretty much tell them that's them other folks' problem. It ain't theirs. Go talk to them. Let them know you can't pay them. They'll get it figured out. A real man's going to go say, I'll pay you $100 a week till I get it paid off. Boom, that's settled. It's when you don't answer the phone, you don't call the banker back, you don't call the fuel company back, you don't call the equipment company back. That's when you got a problem. And it's easy, Taylor, for these guys. We're in a world now where equipment's 3 times higher than what it was 10 years ago. They're putting their whole life on the line trying to make this living, and they go, can I do this? Can I go out and have a skid steer and a mulcher and make a living for my family? I can't tell them yes or no. It's whether if they got the dog in them or not. The fellow with the dog in them is going to go out there and work daylight to dark and sacrifice. He's not going to go on hunting trips and do cool shit with his buddies. He's going to make sure his children are taken care of, his wife's taken care of, and their family affairs are taken care of.
I really love that because it's spot on. I say the same thing. People, we recently acquired a building company, and just with all the other stuff going on, and often than not, right now, people are like, man, you don't know, like, how do you do that, or how do you do this? And I'm sure people say the same thing to you, and I say the same thing. There's people that are cut out for it, and people that aren't. The amount of stress, the amount of BS that comes your way, like more money, more problems is 100% the thing. I mean, when you're not making as much, you go, man, imagine what it's like when I'm doing 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. I'm going to be no. Your problems just get bigger and they get more frequent.
That's exactly right. And I used to tell you, when I was young, I'd get mad. You know what I'm saying? When I get on a job and things weren't going right. Man, if I'd had AirPods or some little round deals, you track stuff, if I had them on my tools, I'd be able to find them today because I'd chunk a crescent wrench across the field, I'd get pissed. And the guys that's been here forever, they'll tell you when I was young, I was hot headed and, I wasn't mean, but we went hard, but we had to. We didn't have nothing. And I knew where I wanted to be. But, a lot of these young guys will look and say, oh, Trey's got it made. I had the same problems you do.